this book in my hand. It's called The Sparkling Grind. I listened to one of the Gary interviews with Eric. This is the book here, and um, I have interviewed the artist named Evan. He's the production manager for Teen Titans. He's an artist. And what happened is during those talks, in that time, I wanted to do usually I want to do interviews that was to solve people's problems and so they could do their dreams, right? But also to be because I had a dream once before. I had a dream once before, uh, and that was to create art. That was to draw like animation. I used to do it before, uh, and in that interview, I listened to what he said because growing up during those times, what this had to do with this book? Well, I'll get into the book, but during those times, what this has to do with you in your life? Anything in life whether you want to do, you have to be able to embrace the thing that's uncomfortable, right? And the thing is, most people believe in myth. Well, I have to break the idea of that myth too, because um, I remember when I was growing up from I think middle school to high school, um, I was in love with the idea of animation. And how did I get into animation? It wasn't. I mean, of course, there was Dragon Ball Z, but how did I get into it? Well, I remember I picked up a magazine. Well, it was Shonen Jump magazine, right? And I fell in love with it. It was during sixth grade, I remember, and it was. I went to a grocery store and they have a Shonen Jump magazine, and I read through it, and I fell in love with it. And because the way how it was drawn and how the way it was put together, it was truly amazing. And the it's truly how I fell in love with this manga, right? Where Rurouni Kenshin, where she vowed, not to, you know, do no harm anymore. And the style was drawn. The style was very interesting, and I was drawn. Let me share how it looked. The style, because I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to draw just like Rurouni Kenshin, and I had the same. I tried to do it, but it's like drawn this way, right? And I liked it, and I look up to the art. I mean, the art, whatever. And so I remember I drew most of my. It was it's always I remember it's full on back when I was middle school. But as time went on, I mean I drew, but I stopped. I guess I get sometimes I get frustrated with my art, right? Because I can't draw like totally. I tried to because back in 2012 I tried to look up to draw how to do like martial arts stuff for drawing. But I remember back in 2012 I had a deep depression, and after I quit uh, restaurant job, I stopped working for a while, and I drew. All I remember was I got depressed because of my ex. She broke up with me, but all I did was drew. I drew and I tried to figure out how to create stories and try to create art. And I try to tell my story the way I see it, and I try to put a lot of things into it. And I usually put my friends into it, right, as characters. As time went on, people tell me to go back to school. People tell me to not be active in life, or because I wanted to seclude myself. I wanted to close off to the world because I don't want to deal with the fact that I don't. At that time, I think I was escaping life. When I was drawing, I feel better about how it was, the art that I create was awesome, and how I tell them the stories, and I can put it into ink, and then I can draw it out and make me feel good. But people didn't accept that. People want me to do something with my life, but that something with my life was society want. And people always tell me stop doing this and stop doing that. Do something that society wants for you. Be productive, they say, as a member of society. But I didn't want that for myself. I grew tired. I was sick and tired of living the life that most people want to live, want me to live, want because they're living that life, and I hated that life. And I wanted to escape life at that moment because my heart was broken. I was depressed, and I hated my life working from that time because it was jading me. I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be creative. And as I show people, people be like, "Wow, amazing!" But no. And I drew and I drew. I have separate arts and stuff like that. And I remember one day I wanted to. I felt like I remember exact moment that I uh, drew, and our power was out, and I felt at the time my dream couldn't come true. That I couldn't be as successful that I wanted to become an artist, right? And I wanted to become an artist. Like I look up people like Mark. I can't say his name right. And I look up to manga artists, people who drew better than I can. And I look up to. I want to have my own manga or comic book. And but but the thing I had a feeling I remember I didn't want to felt that again, but I did felt it. I remember thinking I couldn't do what I do, and I remember there was this one of my neighbors, and he said I told him that I want to become an artist, and that he said how can you make money doing that? And I guess I stopped. I guess subconsciously I stopped myself from doing what I always wanted to do in actuality. Um, because I couldn't see a way to do it. Now, for me now, I'm doing book reviews and um, personal development. But there are other side of me that I wanted to do more than just book reviews and interviews and inspire people. I wanted to do other things. So I interview Evan, production manager, and he brought the spark back, and I want and and this it's not that good. This is a big yeah, this is my old friend that I drew, right? This is my old comic that I drew back in 2012. This really sucks. It's I guess it's almost like a scenery. It's like this, see? It's my old drawing. I don't know if it's good or not, but it's my old drawing. And he said bring it back. Mm, I'm afraid to show it because I had a lot of cuss words in it. Back then I used to curse a lot. So anything in life you want to do, right? I know it's a long story that I tell, but anything in life you want to do. So we have an imagination, right? This book we talk about. So I'm tying this on. Whenever we want to do something, we have like ideas and imaginations, right? Imagination alone would not. So this book is about ideas and executing, or you have to become a doer in the world. Like you have to take your idea, whatever your art or your idea or your dream life that you want to do. You got to take that idea and pursue that idea, right? It's like me taking the idea of the interview that I want to do and I pursue that idea. It's just an idea until I make it into reality. Now, it's much harder. It's amazing to have ideas and imagination. I remember I was watching Gary Vee. and then I was watching motivational video of Evan Carmichael. I interviewed him on his channel, and he did it called execution about ideas or something. And Gary Vee said everybody have ideas. Everyone has ideas. Unless you and unless you take that idea and execute on that idea and do it, someone will take it or nothing will happen. You have to become a doer, a practitioner of your craft. Like interviews, I tell people that I do interviews. I have to become a practitioner. I have to invite people to do an interview to inspire you, to inspire people to do something with their life. And it's not always easy because people have different opinions. People will tell you things. People, when you want to do something in your life, people will tell you and try to stop you from doing it because they themselves have not seen it happen. So they tell you it won't happen for you. So I'm going to read you this one. Uh, the spark without the grind. The spark without the grind is the land of dreamers. Coffee house across America boasts being sports, cement, often building just places as a temple of creativity. Seekers and people might call themselves creative. But the final measure of creativity, innovation, or revolution is neither ideas nor dreams. It's whether those sparks grew into something that matters. Martin Luther King had the dream. He went on while stoking it into a blaze that since our nation would the spark have ignited as it did if King had only given a single speech. People who chase the spark but don't embrace the grind are into igniting big ideas but not fanning them into tangible blades. Others might call them idea people and visionaries. For the wake of their finished works reveal the truth. I call them igniters. Their attempt to enjoy the reputation of creativity, the iPad commercial vision, but not the reality of creativity. Being an igniter is harmless, sort of, if your objective is creativity, provocative social media profile, garden attention at a diner party. But being ignited is frustrating and significant if you're trying to make it fresh progress. Dreams and visionaries are wholly necessary in our world, but left alone, the ideas ignite will remain undeveloped. All is not lost. However, there's hope for the igniter of the world. The grind without the spark. The grind without the spark is what we feel when we work. It's a grind. It's work for the sake of working, spinning on your wheels, continuing after without meaning progress. In other words, what makes the grind more grind like is absence of spark, an absence of freshness, originality. The grind effect on us is ultimately a matter of how it used and what produced. It's not enough to grind only for money or position or prominence. These results have diminishing returns. You burn out, you fail, and you can't find the wall to grind again. The results that grow your strength and willing to keep grinding that give meaning to the grind or vice versa. Meaning lies inside of us, but is manifest through the action of creation. When work does not bring peace of yourself into clean, it quickly becomes a maddening grind. When the work does manifest piece of you, the hours must cut in really matter. Those who embrace the grind but not the spark are called grinders. They wholly embrace labels. Deny a strong work ethic, they gravitate to a description like this from the driven because they sound like a lot sexier than cause or workaholic. Hard work play a critical role in anything obstacle. The reality, however, is that no one likes grinding for something that doesn't matter to them personally. You're grinding, you know this is true, whether or not you're willing to admit it. Something that took me nearly a decade to do. It's exhausting to take it, yet means to every day. 4,000 years ago, King Solomon Washington was that because the traditional fruits of our labor, fame, possession, titles are inevitably meaningless. The best approach to life is to eat, drink, and grind for something that brings joy. My paraphrase, in other words, the only grind that matters, the one that illuminates and fans the spark inside of us. Your grind, it's time to open up and get real about why you grind. If you're willing to do this, it's hope for you too. We are born makers, right? Brian Brown. Creativity is the ultimate action of integration. It's how we fold our experience into our being. To be more creative more often, being the maker, be approach is what separates those who create constantly from those who struggle to get when it most matters. This constant balance is key. It's the only way you won't lose sight of bigger ideas while growing or lose opportunity while searching for a spark. More often that on that in a minute. First, let's get clear on what it means to trust the process. In the first now case, more than the product. In any creative venture, whether you're creating, crafting a new product, writing your autobiography, or launching a company, there are seasons of both clarity and confusion, aha, followed by what the hell, and hard charge as a tendency to push through. The confusing moment when laser focus on the prize, the finished product, or the goal that has already taken some tangible form in mind. In a document in a whiteboard, grinders rarely charge after something that doesn't have at least some clarity up front. An initial spark of insight, intuition, and understanding. That's because grinders need a finish line. They're driven by achievement, by not only the elation of finishing, checking another item off the list, but also by the rewards of achievement, whether they're economic, emotional, or higher. This nature to the grind towards the goal is a beautiful thing. It's also necessary for all you can grind and cause you to be immune and thus only show your courage self. In other words, true grinders rarely grind mindlessly, but their laser focus combined with more creative possibilities. So what you want to do is what I mean is by combining our imagination, if we are the creator of our own life, not only that we have the idea of that we are the creator, and we have to produce something. Because when we have an idea, we must turn that into action. We must produce, we must put it out for people to see whether they like it or not. We have to be uncomfortable, like for instance, video. I'm creating a video and putting it out there for you to see, even if you like it or not. And I'm telling a story into it. Or an art that you want to put out, or something that you want to do, and it's uncomfortable. Or whether you want to create a YouTube channel on Twitter, Instagram, and put it out. And I will leave a link down below if you want to watch an interview, how to become, being beginner art or something like that, an interview that I did. And I hope that we have to put this together. Not only that we should be able to imagine the great life or use our imagination and innovate our life, we must put that into action, executing on that idea. Dreaming is great. Dreaming up an idea, dreaming a vision is great. I remember I was watching Evan Carmichael video, and there was this guy talking about strategy is about 5%, execution is about 95%. So it's about the vision is about 5%, the goal is about 5%, the stuff that we want to do, we say we're going to do is about 5%. But it's about the execution at the end of the day. It's about doing something, and it may not be easy. And sometimes we get burned out. Sometimes we get exhausted. Sometimes we're tired. Doing the same thing over and over again. And sometimes we don't see the result right away, and we want to give up. Right? Most of the time, I create videos. Sometimes I want to give up because yes, I'm getting results, but I am proud of those videos that I did, but it could be better. Because we can always improve, right? We can always do things better and in a bigger way. Now, my message is this. Whether you're into imagination, whether you're into not brain, like brain, whatever, it's about the acclimation, the balance of it all. You can have the grind without imagination. Because you're just pushing through and you will be burned out because you have no creative way to look at a new angle. Same thing as imagination. You need the action. You can look at new angles, but at the end of the day, you must do something with that idea. Unless that idea becomes reality, then all you have is just idea imagination. Put it into paper. Put it into form. See, look. As I live mine, dream into people, I get to see it. I mean, I wrote it down. I mean, that's just an idea. Now take the action. Become use your imagination and become a doer. Execute on it. Subscribe to my channel. Like